Podcast Playground.
Hooray!
This is the Deron Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Deron Harris.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Deron Harris, and this is my podcast. I'm sitting here with my wife, yo. What's happening, baby? How you doing?
Hi.
We already laughing, y'all. Hopefully everybody is doing good this week. Today I'll be talking about a few different topics. I don't have anything particular that I'm talking about. A few things. So, some things that have been on our mind, some things that we kind of just chop it up about from time to time, but nevertheless on our mind. But before I get into all of that, I want to first do a quick, fast mental health check for everybody out there that's listening. Listen, if you guys are out there and you are suffering from any kind of mental health issue, please do yourself the favor and do not deny yourself an opportunity to go get some help. There are plenty of professionals out there that are more than qualified to help you get through any I don't know, bad situation or bad scene that you may be going through. So don't deny yourself that I suffer from mental health issues, and I'm a big advocate for therapy, and I will say that it works 100% of the time. At least it did for me. So if you have if that's an option for you, please explore that. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and, before we do that, I'm going to take a quick, fast break, y'all, so we can get our shit together. This is Deron Harris Podcast.
That was trying to calm you.
The Podcast Playground.
Hooray!
Now, back to the Deron Harris Podcast.
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the show. All right, sitting here with my wife. We sitting here kind of just looking through the news. I've been seeing in the morning, I've been seeing what's popping at the Diddy trial. And there's some people, babe, that don't think that they think Cassie was a willing participant. And I say myself, this is just me. I say a lot of people, they are willing participants until they're not.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but nevertheless.
Well, right now, I mean, they're saying she was willing. Okay, so if she was willing to do it, right? But at some point, something happened.
Well, I mean, a lot of shit happened.
Perhaps. Well, people are like, really? But a lot of shit has happened now that we know what's coming out.
Like, yo, for real. Like.
But, I mean, if that's the way they got down, that's the way they got down. Like, that part that's coming out now, all this, like, they're going into detail. I'm like, all right, I get it.
Right.
I'm kind of like, is that a crime, though?
Yeah, exactly. Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of people trying to find out where the actual crimes took place. And I think right now, the only real, I mean, because they're trying to get them for, like, trafficking, like trafficking. But if you got willing participants, that trafficking shit kind of goes out the door.
But I'm talking about the right now. What they're talking about right now is basically just porn being... Like
live action porn.
Right. Just being out there, just someone speaking it. Instead of watching it, people are actually,
It's weird, yeah.
And then it's like, all right, let's just get to the point where everybody wants to get to the point of where did he break the law?
Well, see, I think what it is it comes back down to the domestic issue. It comes back down to
right there. Well,
like
you talking about the hotel?
Well, him beating her ass.
Yeah.
And I think that's where all the problems really kind of started, because he was like, he gave a security guard, one of the security dudes, threw a bunch of money at him and told him not to say shit. And
he didn't say anything, obviously.
Exactly.
And then now that she's out here, and she said something, now we're seeing this video. But okay, the domestic violence, but why are we trying to figure out what has happened before that?
Well, because motherfuckers is nasty. Everybody want to know what the fuck. Motherfuckers want to know. You don't need to know all of that shit. You just need to know that he whooped her ass in the fucking hallway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like
I mean, that's nothing to laugh about. I'm not laughing about what's happening in the hotel.
But everybody's exposing, like, his I guess his deep, dark sexual secrets.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a freak.
Yeah, man.
That's really what it comes down to. But then it's even more. He's a freak, but now he's controlling.
But it's she though.
Okay,
exactly.
She's a freak too. Cool for her.
Right. So in that is.
But she doesn't deserve to get her ass beat.
I didn't. Yeah, absolutely not. I think, and that's what I think. For me, that's the real issue. Is don't be beaten on. Don't be beating on people,
unless that was part of it, right? Like,
but I don't think it was part of it.
Right.
All right, beat my ass right in the hallway.
Yeah, it might turn him on.
Well, a lot of shit turned him on. Obviously, he was very misogynistic.
Honestly, I think even that may have turned him on.
See, I start thinking, I'm like, man, what the fuck did he do to Justin Bieber? Justin Bieber
he did something?
Because they started to say that Diddy had Justin Bieber had the Diddy effect and all kind of shit. Like his.
Oh, I don't know what's going on with that. It's too much. There's just so much going on. Like, who are we waiting for somebody else to come to court?
Well. There's probably gonna be a bunch of motherfuckers coming to court that you wouldn't like, people that you recognize because it's
gonna come out pastors.
Listen,
possibly.
I wonder, who the fuck was at the? Well, TD Jakes already, that the one pastor dude. I ain't really seen much of him lately either, but TD Jakes, he done already came out. Somebody called him a power bottom.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
And now he's quiet.
Well, I guess he's quiet, but anyway, I think that you're gonna start seeing a lot of people that you recognize that were, because it's different. There been to the white parties, and when I was working at the Canal Room in Manhattan, me, Jose, and Dave Young, we all served. We had there was Diddy parties. There were they were at the club. There was he came. I made drinks. There was one night I made 3 drinks for his baby mom's Kim Porter. And he came straight up to me. He was like, yo, he gave me his black card. It was worn out. He was like, yo, my girl, she came here last time. She said she really liked the drinks that you made. He said, you don't make drinks for nobody else. You make drinks just for her, and that's it. So I stood down here in the service bar at the end of the bar, and literally she had 3, maybe 4 drinks. I made 4 drinks all night. And
that shit is dope.
Yo, it was packed. It was fucking packed. And I'm looking down the bar, and these motherfuckers are working their ass off. Jose and the other 2 bartenders, they're working their ass off, and I'm just standing there waiting for her to finish her Cosmo so I can make another one.
I just said that's dope, but then really,
But yeah,
then now we know about him.
But that was a long time ago, and that was in the heyday of his flash and all that shit.
Yeah, but still doesn't mean that he wasn't doing this before.
Well, I think he was kind of finding out testing the waters of how much power. And I think after Biggie died, he got a lot of breaks. He got a lot of sympathy. He got a lot of because it was quote unquote, that was my man. But a lot of people starting to say now that he has a lot to do with, with Big getting killed, with Pac being with Pac
but
being.
What does that have to do with him being on some freaky? You
know
what I'm saying? That's
because powerful people.
Powerful
people think they could do anything. Look at Caligula.
Yeah, you're right.
Look at Caligula. Caligula probably was the freakiest motherfucker in history. Caligula was sucking horse dick and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Caligula was wild business, and I think that he was he was trying to feel his inner Caligula is what I think Diddy was on, and I think that some people got caught up with it because he's got a lot of money,
right?
And he just throws money at the situation, and people in their situation, motherfuckers want money. And that's the problem. We have become a capitalist society that, these little green dollar bills got us selling our whole morals.
Yeah, but also people think that it's going to keep secrets. The minute
motherfucker, if you got a fucking cell phone, your secret is over. Check your cell phone at the door. If you wanted to, especially if you wanted to keep, complete secrecy. You got to check your cell phones and shit like that at the door.
Yeah, don't take no pictures.
No pictures, no none of that shit, no nothing. You got to prove it. This shit never happened. You lying.
You got to come in here
fuck
naked.
Out of here.
Already.
Yeah, you got to come in here butt ass naked, straight off the fucking bat.
Okay, let me not go there, but. No, yeah, I'm bothered by him just beating on her. I'm bothered by that, but then also dude, you wild business.
Yeah, this motherfucker is wild.
And he's got a problem.
Fuck yeah, that's a problem.
I mean, he likes what he likes, but he has gone way beyond that. He's abused
I think
the power
I think before
that
before you get famous, I think what happens is everybody is having like regular ass sex. But once you get fucking famous and you can have anything you want, 5 motherfuckers or 5 bitches or whatever the fuck it is you want, you can have that. And once you reach that fucking level, even that shit, gets you, all right, I'm done with what the fuck can I do now?
But this is my thing. He's doing all that. He did all that. Did he not think somebody was going to say something? Like, so
Well,
he's
I
just
guess
paying people, he's just dropping
that's
money?
what it is.
To be
Well,
like,
he's got
don't
$1
say
billion.
this.
He's got $1 billion. You could throw money at whatever situation.
But piss somebody off.
Well, that's the fucking. He pissed Cassie off. He beat her ass.
She had it.
She had enough. That was it. Don't beat my ass out here. We could have
Don't
as
touch
many
me.
freak offs as you want to. We could freak off all the fucking time. I like the freak offs. As a
But
matter
we're
of
not
fact.
doing this outside. Like
But see,
this.
then she started talking about how it was a bunch of dudes, fucking out there running trains and all kind of shit like that, and he would sit there and just be on some, with that shit. You know what I mean? And that right there, to me, that is, that. You got to be able to say you don't like shit like that. If you are in a
Right.
relationship with something, I don't care how much you love this motherfucker, or you got to be strong enough or respectful of yourself enough to say, nah, motherfucker, you know what I mean?
I have to go.
I can't be here. It's me and you, or it ain't nobody. But it ain't gonna be
Yeah.
me, you, him, her, him, and him.
But she wanted his attention, to
Yeah,
be
I don't
around
need-
him. No, but no, that's not the way.
That is
I need
not
your
the
time, but this is not it. I don't need your time and they time and them time. I don't need that.
way. I don't need that.
No.
And see, there was it took a while to put shit like this together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who
Yeah.
else? And the thing, and I think about it like this too. Who else was involved? Because he ain't just the motherfucking mastermind. You got to have a bunch of motherfuckers to sit there and
Of
plan shit like
course.
this out. You got to have coordination. It's hard to get thousands of bottles of baby oil. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, that shit right there takes a
Yeah.
lot of pulling some shit together. And also, it takes a high level of secrecy. Because nobody knew
Yes.
until they raided this motherfucker's house that he had all this motherfucking baby oil. And that's what the fuck it was for.
That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? But then they was trying to, at very most, they could get him on some prostitution shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But as far as trafficking is concerned, I don't think trafficking is
Well, I don't think a lot of people, like you said, I mean, this came out
domestic
because
violence. And
domestic violence, but is anybody really going to say anything? Probably they're going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
hip hop historically has been a very misogynistic genre anyway. So a lot of shit probably gets swept the fuck under the rug, or like
Right.
motherfuckers don't really say shit about it, or that bitch talk shit, or and some women even say they justify it because they hard rock bitches too. You know what I mean? So it comes up on a point where when does the misogyny the respect for each other stop, and the misogynistic behaviors and tendencies and bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, because that's exactly what this turned into.
Yeah.
Is a big fucking
And did he really love her?
well,
I mean, to an extent, I guess you can love somebody like that, but then I followed him, and he always talked about Kim.
I think you know what I'm saying? And like you said, like you was,
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Go
And
ahead.
then I think it was in one summer, he had like 2 baby mamas in the
Yeah, I
boat
was
with
just-
him.
yeah, I
And
was
remember
just-
that? I
what
was
the
like,
fuck
what
is
is
that?
this?
Well, because see, when you get powerful, you not only when you get powerful, when you know that motherfuckers around you will do anything for money. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You can do anything. You could say anything. You could behave any way you want, because the motherfuckers that are surrounding you will do anything for money. So it don't matter. It don't matter what the fuck you was talking about. It doesn't matter if you called me, bitches and hoes in my face. As long as you slide me fucking X amount of dollars, you can do whatever the fuck you want to. And that's the mentality. Unfortunately, that's the mentality of a lot of people. You know what I mean? Not just in that genre, a lot of people in general. Black folks, white folks, just people in general.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers is all about some cash fucking money. They willing to show up and do whatever the fuck, show their ass out, sell their whole fucking morals for some fucking dollars.
I
Look
mean,
at,
do you, boo?
I mean, look at fucking OnlyFans. If he was smart, if he was really smart, he would have contacted bitches like Lily Phillips and these Bonnie Blue motherfuckers who do this shit for fucking OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying?
they're never
because
gonna say anything.
They would say shit and it would be okay because it would be them. It would be OnlyFans. It would be like,
right,
this
but
is my
I mean,
profession.
in there, you know, and hopefully.
But the thing about it is Diddy can't have that. Well, now it's just
Right.
it's out the fucking bag that you were fucking like remember Marv Albert, the fucking sports announcer that was accused of biting people in the fucking hotel room.
No.
Yeah, man, like fucking it was Marv Albert, and then he even came back and still was like fucking announcing.
What do you mean biting people?
Listen, he was a sexual deviant. Marv Albert, the fucking sports announcer, was a sexual deviant. He was, I think it was, I don't want to say, it wasn't Brent Musburger. It was Marv Albert. Yeah, this motherfucker. Yeah, he was like up in the fucking hotel room biting on bitches.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking.
I mean, some people like that.
But see, that's the thing. A lot of people are fucked up. It like I won't even say fucked up. A lot of people like what they like sexually.
Right.
They
I was
just
about
like
to say
what the
they
fuck
like
they
what
like.
they like, and it's okay to like what you like.
Absolutely.
As long as you're not out here like this man in the lobby of a hotel beating on your ass.
Well, see,
then
that's
like what you like.
see, and that's the difference. Like, because you also have like shit like BDSM, where motherfuckers pay motherfuckers to beat your ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get your
Give me the pow.
yeah,
pow.
give me the fucking pow to the
and
pip
choke
pow.
me out till I can't till I almost see the light, but then I'm not through the light.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm saying that's what that all stands for. No, not
Yeah,
me.
'cause-
I was speaking in general.
Because you know we're about to take a break here in a minute, right? You can get the choke out and the pow pow.
Oh, okay.
You get the chokity pow. But yeah, they was on a straight booty tickle, man. I mean, and I just don't. I mean, I think that everybody was involved.
Who's
I mean,
everybody?
everybody. Let me rephrase it. Everybody involved was a consenting.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just secretive because it's that type of deal where you can't really fucking say because I'm a high profile individual.
It's
and I
not
can't.
even that. It's everything that happened.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna take a quick fast break, and when we come back, we're gonna chop us up some more about Diddy and some other shit that has happened in the news. This is the Deron Harris Podcast. Be right back.
The podcast playground.
Now, back to the Deron Harris Podcast.
Hey, what's up, folks? Welcome back to the show. Sitting here with my wife, chopping it up about the current events of the times. What's up, babe?
Hi.
So, I kind of want to check myself because I've been super relentless on white folks. I just been
Oh yeah.
going hard.
Well, they doing it to themselves.
Well, and that's true. Like a lot of
But,
whites,
yeah,
they
I'm
do
with
make
you.
it easy. They do make
Yeah.
it easy.
I mean, they do, but I get you because I'm the same way. Like, hey, let me just calm it down.
I mean, I can't front. Sometimes they just make you. They make you so. You know, some of the shit they do just makes you angry. It makes you. It just. It's. Sometimes you just can't. But. I could choose to be a different person. You know what I mean? I tee off a lot. You know what I mean? And that has left, you know, especially people listening to my podcast, you know, some people are like, this motherfucker is a racist, you know, in some instances. And it's not the fact that I'm a racist. I just don't like the institution of racism that has been implemented by white folks, you know,
Right.
for lack of a better phrase, you know, or not phrase or lack of, you know, I mean, not really lack of, that's really what it is. I mean, it was a system that was put in, but like I always say, people hate being guilty of the shit they're guilty of. So when I talk about shit like this, you know, people, white folks, they get upset about it. And then I turn around and I don't give a fuck. And then I start with the fucking...
Well, I think, I mean, obviously the ones that are bothered, you know, they get defensive. They get defensive, obviously, for a reason.
Well, they get defensive because they identify with the
Right.
with that power
then
structure.
when-
They take it as a personal attack on them as opposed to an attack on the structure that has created the situation
Right.
or the
Now,
circumstance.
And I mean, this is not every white person.
Absolutely, and that's
So-
what and that's what I'm saying. That's what I want. I guess that's what I want white folks to know. You know, I want white folks to know that it's not white people. You know, it's for me, it's white people shit. You know, it's I don't know how to really. I'm trying to figure out how to put this. You know what I'm saying?
It's I mean, I'm going to speak for myself.
Yeah.
It's not, like I said, it's for me, it's not every white person. It's just, if I'm out here in the streets, which we are a lot and often, we minding our damn business.
right,
We're minding our business.
right.
And there's always that one person who is not minding their business.
This white woman.
It can be in traffic. It can be at the store. I
Right.
mean,
right.
it can be at the restaurant. And my problem is,
You're in my business.
you're in my business, and now I'm gonna have to be in your business, and that's a problem. And not even that. It's not only even being in our business. It's those that are racist.
See, and that's that's the problem that I'm having. That is the issue that I'm having. The ones that have that are racist, like. And you can tell because racism is fashionable now. You know, racism is in style now, and which I hate to say it like this. I'm kind of like, all right, cool, because now it's taking care of finding out large swaths of people who are actually racists. You know, now I know who you are. I would like to know. Now I know where the pockets of racism are, or the closet racists, or the people who have always, you know, smiled in your face, but, you know, all the time.
Like that song.
Yeah, they smile in your face all the time. They want to take your place. That was my jam. That is still my jam. But anyway, you know, it's good to know.
Well, yeah, show your true colors, because now I know how to proceed. For me, I know how to proceed.
Right, I don't have to deal with you. I don't have to.
Right.
I don't have to share space with you. Not to say that I don't want to share space with white people. I don't want to share space with those people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't want to share space with that ideology. Now, with that being said, I do. Both of us. We both have some white folks in our lives that are irreplaceable.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know,
And I don't think of them.
as I don't think of them as such because they do not
Right.
subscribe to that same ideology. They'll
Step in.
They step in, they
step
speak up,
in.
they
I've never
advocate.
heard somebody say, you know, I understand where you come from, because they wouldn't understand. You know,
Right. How could they?
Right, but they're supportive.
But there are people there. I mean, like Jay. Jay asks questions because
Right.
he genuinely wants to know how to fix this.
Yes.
How to combat this right here.
Right.
How do we go up against this together and fix this problem? And that's why he asks questions, and we have long conversations about it. You know, and then, you know, we can open up a better dialogue. He understands more. I can reaffirm to him more that, hey, listen, you know, we are all in this together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are all here together, man. And that we could ride together. You know what I mean? We can show our solidarity for each other. We can show everybody that, yeah, man, we supposed to be here together.
Yeah, and also he cares.
Well,
He's taking the time to, and he wants to learn.
Well, you can tell he cares because he asks questions.
Right. And that matters, versus other people are just like, no, they get defensive. And it's like, okay, you're defensive for what reason?
Yeah.
Obviously, I've triggered something or said something that you don't want to hear because it goes against.
It
how
hurts you. You
yeah.
you feel like I'm attacking you.
Right. And it's not you, but it actually might be you.
Well,
if you don't like
what
black
I'm saying,
or brown people.
or what I'm saying.
Or what I'm saying.
If what I'm saying is offensive to you, then maybe it is you that I'm talking
yeah,
to.
and maybe you are the problem.
Maybe you're the part of the problem.
You are the problem.
And see, that's I saw a reel the other day about with a girl who said she had friends that these people voted for. And how am I saying you voted for me? You wanted me to come over to some function where there was a bunch of Trump supporters, and you wanted me, and I got my Black Lives Matter earrings in, and I got to stand around and listen to racist shit, but you invite me over to that, and then come to figure out that you're in on that too. You're supposed to be my homie. Me and you rode together for so on and so forth, but you turn around and you actively choose to vote against me or against things that would benefit me and my people, even though even while you know about the struggles that we've had to come through, but you still vote in this direction. You say you vote for single issues.
Now if that friend is willing to listen to this lady.
Well, it's too late.
No, but I'm saying okay, why are you upset? What? Maybe she doesn't get it, but if she's willing to, I would say keep the friendship. If not, walk away from that shit. I don't care how long you've been friends with this person.
Well, I look at it like this. If we friends, right? We've been friends, and I'm sitting here telling you, and not only am I telling you, it's documented. This is what's going to happen, and this is who it's going to happen to. And I fall into the category of the people that the bad shit is going to happen to. And you, as my friend, still choose to vote in favor of the bad shit happening to me. Then how important am I really to you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And in that, how important are you really to me?
Right.
You know what I mean?
You have to question it
all. You really
all.
have to start questioning shit like that. Oh, I believe in this right here. Well, I get that. But then that puts me in a rock and a hard place, because this is what I believe. Like about me and had the fight about the people in the Arlington National Cemetery, and why stripping off the identities or the ethnic identity of why it mattered, and the explanation that I was given behind why he supported that everybody being labeled as the same as opposed to individually people being let know, oh, well, there's a tour. Yeah, you goddamn right there's a tour, because that inspires us, because we aren't represented here.
Well, a lot of the thought processes, get over it.
It's always get over it, but it's been, and listen, it'll always continue to be get over it. But they're the biggest hypocrites in the world, and not until we start turning around and vocalizing more about this hypocrisy, they're always going to say do that. They're always going to say the same shit.
Yeah, well,
but they need to get over it.
And
you motherfuckers lost.
Also, with your friends, you got to be asking yourself, well, what value do you bring into my life? Like, for real. At this
real
point.
talk, though. That's
as we get older. Fuck around. Have to start asking these important questions.
That's a real ass question, because, if you was young and I was like, y'all used to go out and hang out and drink and shit and all that, and you don't drink no more, then, really, it's cool. I love you and everything, but I don't really do that shit no more. Or I'm not really into that anymore. So, really, how does that benefit me anyway?
Right. And then, have they been fake? Not fake, but, low key. So low key,
right.
This whole time we've been hanging out. But how do you low key feel about?
Well, sometimes people
me?
think that sometimes people think that they're more liberal than they actually are. Sometimes people think that they're more open minded than they actually are. They might, I'm old fashioned, but I like black people. That you'll get a lot of that. But still, you like black people. But how would you feel if your daughter came home with a black man? Would you feel some type of way, or would it not faze you, or or how would you feel? Would you say something negative, or would you be
you're gonna let your family say some slick shit?
Or are you gonna let your family say some slick shit? What are you gonna do?
Because I had a friend, her dad was racist.
Yeah.
And so I would be like, is it okay? My daughter,
right.
Are we gonna have a problem if I bring my daughter over? And as a matter of fact, I didn't want to even bring her, to
right.
the pool. I think I'm cool, I brought her a few times, but you feel the energy,
right.
and I'm like, yeah, I'm not. It's not worth it,
Right, right.
It wasn't worth it after a while, because I'm like, if he is, and she's said some slick stuff already, right. Then kind of I can tell that although she claimed she wasn't, In
That's
a
how
sense,
she.
you.
Well, see,
you work.
sometimes people who grow up like that, they're able to break the generational curse, as I like to call it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And say, you know what you guys are talking about is absolute, complete, and total bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You guys are full of shit. You know, and the fact that you guys do represent this makes you a bunch of fucking idiots.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It makes you a bunch of fucking lying, hypocritical idiots. You know, but, you know, this is who you support, you know, and this is how you support it, and that's fine. But then don't tell me that, you know, you're in favor of these things or you like these people. This person right here is your friend or so on and so forth because you actively voted, you know, or to keep them relegated into a specific space as opposed to voting for equality for all humanity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it just gets to a point where I'm tired of people talking shit. You know, I'm tired of people, you know, sitting around saying, "Oh yeah, you know, that's my homie, man, that's my buddy," but still standing up in this other shit because, you know, as you can see, you know what I mean, what are you gonna say to me now? You know, that the funding for the, you know, the Smithsonian African American Museum has been taken away.
Does
is
this person even care?
Yeah, do you even give a fuck about that?
And that's
is
the
that
thing.
is and see, but that's the thing. That's something that they don't care about. The reason why is because they can't identify or relate to it.
Which is what I'm saying. You kind of really don't understand it.
Exactly. And see, but my problem with that is this. You know, there's a lot of wealthy black folks here. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot of wealthy enough black folks to keep the Smithsonian Museum open.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think there's wealthy enough black folks to say, you know what? Fuck it.
I'm gonna take this somewhere
Give
else.
us our Smithsonian Museum then. If you guys don't want to maintain it, great. We'll maintain it.
Right.
The fuck out of here.
That's a
Jay-Z.
good one. Yeah. More museums.
Well, see, and that's the thing. That right there is what I'm talking about. More representation, more museums. But I heard something interesting. They were like, you know, black folks really weren't allowed to empower their communities. Otherwise, they cut that funding that, you know, you can come and you can be the role model for your community, but don't go in here to your community and try to really help your community.
Well, why not?
Well, because they need to keep us relegated in order to, you know, continue that power structure, yeah, I guess it would be called that hierarchy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That level of privilege.
Well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this this theater right here and turn it into a museum.
It's a black folks museum. Well, I mean, if we can get people to go to it, that's the thing. We have to garner the interest.
They're gonna burn it down.
Listen, motherfuckers don't care.
Burn, bitches, burn.
But the motherfuckers don't. And see, that's the thing, and that's what I'm talking about. The more shit that we try and do, the more we're opposed by not only their community but our own communities. But that's a different story. Just chopping it up about random shit in the world with my wife. Hey, babe, what's happening?
Hey.
So before we left off and went to break, we was talking about some things that white folks did that kind of upset us, but it wasn't about white folks. You know, it's about the structure that many white folks borrow into, and that kind of led us into a circle. We went and saw the movie Sinners, and I thought it was excellent.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm still talking about it.
Listen, we
Everything that happens lately, I'm like, ooh.
we
Sinners.
should go see it again. I'd like to go see it again because, like they say, that you miss shit.
Well, I went in there, because everybody was telling me you had to go see Sinners. You know, you have to pay attention. And since I'm an analyst, right? I was like, okay, I got to go in there. I got to stay focused.
See what's happening.
Projections, actuals, all this good stuff, right? So I went in there decoding. Already, I was in decoding mode from the beginning of the movie. It is really good. I was focused, alert, and I was
So what?
paying attention.
What did you get out of it?
That white folks crazy.
Yeah. There were several areas in that film that I kind of saw the symbolism. the very first and
Oh, spoiler! Are you gonna do? Because you're gonna say
spoiler
something.
alert, fuckers.
Yeah. I don't know what
The
information
opening-
you're about to give.
In the early scene when the Mexicans and the Indians chased rolled up on the house.
That was great.
I was like,
caught
that
on to
right
that
there.
fast.
I caught that right
I
away.
was
I was
like,
like,
I know who
that right there.
who they're talking about.
Listen, man, it was like, wow. And it started so early. It started early, and it was like, I mean, the way they said it too. I mean, it's
Right.
like that dude who said the line, he looked right in the camera and he was deadly serious, man. He was like, we have to, man. You have to tell us.
Oh yes.
But then the other dude was like, hey,
We got to go
we got to bounce.
because it's
Man.
getting late. Yeah,
You know, and it was just like,
and it just got like, well, I wouldn't say better. You know.
Yeah, it
but,
definitely got better.
Well, yeah, I guess better. I mean, it was
There was
it was
some-
crazy, but I was like, hey,
there
the
were
way
some
they're
parts in
telling
it
this-
that kind of didn't make any sense to me. Then when they were like, oh, we're just going to walk away slow and just walk over here. I don't like, get your ass the fuck up out of here.
No, I got that because that's what some people do. Okay, people tell them you're not allowed here,
But they
go,
just linger the
and
fuck
they
around.
just hang around. I caught that.
That's
Like, they're
trespassing,
just-
motherfucker. Get the fuck on.
No, they just hang around. You know, they mow their lawn and they look over to
Yeah.
yours. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere. You told me to leave. I'm kind of leaving, but I'm not.
I'm going to observe,
Yeah, and I'm gonna sit over here and just and be annoying.
see, and observe.
Mhm.
Hi,
Yep.
I'm always gonna be here.
Yep.
There was a lot of
It's like
there
white
was
rice.
there was a lot of like like even religious.
Yes.
You know, I mean, like all the way. It took it all the way back to the bones.
And
'cause-
music.
And well, yeah, that was us. That was us.
Yeah.
That was us. You know, we had that wasn't. It was what we worshipped.
Right.
It was not what was given to us by them.
Right.
You know, which I thought that was very clever as well. The way they kind of spun it around and the way it kind of helped them. That our mythology helped us through a large portion of that ordeal they
Right.
went through at the night.
Yeah, because music. And then they were like, hey, we can play too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go play that somewhere else.
But you know what though? Yeah. But I can't front. They was kind of good.
Oh no, it was great. I want the
They was kinda good.
soundtrack to this
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
is banging.
Listen, the scene when they was dancing outside, when they was all
Yes.
dancing outside, and the white dude was singing, yo, that shit was dope. That
Yes.
shit was.
I know. I was like, oh.
I was like, I like that.
I was eating
said-
my popcorn.
I was like,
real
I could
slow.
feel that. I could feel that. But that's what they were doing. But it was really, especially when they were like, we just want him.
Yeah.
You know, we'll let the rest of y'all go, man.
Be like,
it's just
what?
it's just it like it may it's you want to. It's like they want to possess what he has.
Yeah. Give it to
You
me.
know, even I can't have your gift. I don't have your gift, but if I could have you,
Yes.
then I own you and your gift.
And the best thing is, can we come in?
Yeah.
It's like, hey.
But see, that's the thing. They have to be invited in.
Right.
They have to be.
But the message there, I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah.
Can we come in?
Yeah, can we come in?
Can we come
Can we
in?
see what
Let-
y'all got going
yeah,
on
let
over
us
here?
in.
And then what happens when you say yes?
Right. And what happens when you say no?
Yeah, what happens when you say no? They get upset and angry and you gotta let me in. You gotta let me in. You lie.
And these are the people we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. This is the very ideology that, like I said in the last
Right.
segment, that
Right.
it's all of that ideology. It's all of that ideology kind of rolled up into this film, and I like the fact that one thing I did like the fact is Michael B. Jordan played twins.
Yeah.
That was dope.
Great.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, the technology, Hollywood
Yeah,
technology
I
is
was like, okay.
getting better in that
It
respect.
took me a minute though. I'm gonna be honest for a minute. I was like, is this dude is it double time?
Yeah, well, that was good, and I liked it, like his interaction with himself, the way I guess that's how they do it. That's direction. That's a director. That's a good director right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When people start doing shit like that, when you can direct one person and make it seem like he's doing, you got to be able to direct that. Yeah, he did a good job. He did a good job on both sides. You know, as both characters, as both, and the old dude, Delroy Lind, I think Delinda, whatever his name is, I think his name is Delroy.
Mm-hmm.
I liked his character too, the old drunk dude.
Oh yeah, he was cool.
Yeah, he was like on some cut his arms up.
Oh, and this girl, his wife. Oh no, it wasn't his wife. Remember they had a baby.
Oh, the lady from the TVA, from Loki. The dark skin.
That's where she's
she's from the TVA.
That was great.
She was on the Loki TV show. I like her. Listen, I like her as an actress.
Yes.
You know, she's a good actress.
But even and like in this film and how they used her.
Yeah.
Like I like.
She was very incarnate.
I like her character. Like
her character was
very
very very poignant. Yeah, her character was kind of like.
Because they were afraid once they did her. They put her out. They were like,
yeah. See, that was
she's
sad.
Like, I'm coming for your asses.
Yeah. That was very sad though when she, but you know, what I mean, but at the same time, you know, that kind of solidified the whole thing. But you know, when she kept telling him, I'll see you soon.
Oh yeah, that's why.
Because she knew.
I'm coming.
Yeah, she knew, and he knew too.
Right.
I think they all knew. I think it was all of their. I think they all knew.
There's a lot of messages in there. I mean, it was a great movie. Like I came out of there. Well, remember I told you walk me to if you can open my door, because it was rainy, it was dark, and I was like, there's vampires out here.
See, that's the same thing that men have when they go see like kung fu movies, and then they step out the movie theater and want to fight people.
Ew.
Because they think they are kung fu.
I want to fight all the time. Just leave me in the movie theater.
But like even still, I mean, like even you know, it being set in the Jim Crow South,
right?
You know, and still having to deal with the issues of the time, the issues of that day, which were very much real. You know, and these guys are very much, you know, we're gonna go get these dudes anyway. We're gonna sell them this property.
Yeah,
but then
we're gonna get them.
We're gonna get them. But I love the fact.
But they got.
I love the fact that he was like, I got some business to handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
that
some
part,
business to take care of.
He came out like,
because he got informed. He got told.
Yeah.
He got informed. They told him.
Yeah, that hey, this was all a setup.
Mm-hmm.
It really was.
But my thing was this. All them dudes was in the area. You know what I'm saying? They just came to right here, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Psh. And also.
Well, go ahead.
The other, like the second Michael B. Jordan character.
Yes.
Like, how did he make it?
The one that got.
Listen, y'all. I don't want to give up the movie.
Well, we already did.
Yeah. Well, how did when the sun came up? You know what I'm saying? How did he get out?
Oh, because he wasn't affected.
Why? It had already turned. Both of them.
No.
Yeah.
No, but
when she bit him in the room after they was on some like that.
Oh yeah, that's the first one. So he's done. He was done with.
But then the next because he came back as one of them. But then the sun came up. And remember outside they all was like poof.
Oh yeah.
They was all poof.
I don't know.
So how the hell did they make it out?
Oh.
Did y'all fucking hide under the house or some shit or like
possibly? Possibly.
I mean, I don't know.
But regardless, I mean, the way he did it with the guns at the end, he came out.
Oh yeah.
Bam.
Yeah, they wasn't ready for the Tommy gun.
And the message though, even the young man that went back to his dad's church with the instrument,
mm-hmm.
and how it's all that because its religion is like, hey, give me this instrument. This is bad for you.
Right.
This instrument's bad for you. Give it up. and just turn yourself
Right.
back to God. Come here.
And that ain't for
and
me either,
he said
though.
deuces. No, because then I'm not being true to myself.
right.
And I was like, that part too.
Yeah, because
like,
that ain't me, though. And
Yeah,
that's
I
not,
can't
they
do
gave
it.
this to you, and
Right.
you can't even see the fact that they gave this to
Right.
you. You know what I'm saying? This is who I am. I have this talent. This is the only thing I got is this guitar.
And these people can follow me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I have this gift that they want, and I'm just, no, it's my gift. And
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
Stop taking from people.
I think that it does hold a lot of significance in the fact that we do have gifts that we are given, and the way we choose to use them is within it falls solely upon us. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It can be controlled, but it can't be controlled by somebody else. Somebody else can't.
No, it's
not
your gift.
It's
Like
my
whatever
gift.
is your gift, I can't. I
Right.
can try.
unless I
Yeah.
choose to share it with you.
But
Unless-
I'm not going to be as good as you are. It's your gift. This is something that was given to you, just like something given to me, which I still don't know what my damn gift is. Every day I'm like, oh, let me unwrap it. What is it?
You have lots of gifts, babe.
Okay, thanks,
There you
baby.
go.
But I know that you have a lot. You have multiple gifts, so people can try it. But they're not. There's not going to be another Deron Harris. So that's if someone's
There's literally
trying
another
it.
Deron Harris.
I mean, you know what I mean.
Right, yeah, I get what
Don't
you
play with me.
mean. You right, baby.
But it's your gift, but in that gifts and then ideas. Definitely, ideas have been stolen out here like crazy.
See, and that's a problem too. That's part of this whole. That's part of the whole thing as well. Like, the appropriation of the culture, and it's right on the tip of my tongue. It's almost like a dire urge to exterminate or get rid of us in order to take our place. In order to take the things or appropriate the things. Like, they see what we do. They believe that we could do this. We don't need
Right.
you in order to do this. But you do,
Yes.
because where would you get it from?
Right.
Because where would you get it from if you didn't see it come from us?
Because how blah
Right.
would your casserole be?
Well, that's what it. I see. We were just talking about trying to pump the brakes.
Oh yeah. No,
We
you.
Oh, you're some pedal to the metal, huh,
Because
man?
I be trying it. I try.
Like I said, I will say they make it easy.
Yeah.
They make it easy. I'm sorry, white folks. But sometimes I'm not sorry, because white folks sometimes they make it easy to just be like, come on, y'all, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
And it's
What
the
is-
ones that don't care. Like the ones that don't care about me, then I can't find it in my soul, in my heart, in my corazón to care.
I feel
either.
that. I
You know,
feel that.
If you give me that energy, I'm going to give it back. I don't have time to be wasting with somebody that doesn't care about us. If you don't care about me and my family,
Right.
and because of my color and my husband or whatever, then I can't care for you either.
See,
Then I
and
don't
that-
even want to talk to you.
And that's what I'm talking about. And it all comes back down to, smiling in your face, but then turning around and going and voting against me, and
So you can't tell me nothing.
you can't say shit to me.
Then don't shut up. Because
Yeah.
you already been judging since day one.
I wouldn't even say you've been judging. I would say,
And criticizing and talking shit behind our backs and calling us all kinds of names. Those are the people that we're talking about.
yeah, you're on a bandwagon that you don't necessarily want to be associated with.
Right.
And that's really what it is. You think you are in delusion because, sure, you may have that one, friend of color, or, that, one LGBTQ person at your job that you get along with well, but you still turned around and, voted against this guy's rights.
Right.
Voted to have this guy's rights stripped away, or, voted to have this guy's heritage or legacies erased, or whatever it is. And that, I think, is what most people are becoming upset with. There's these two things that are starting, these two phrases that are going to call black fatigue and white fatigue. Now, black fatigue, white people are trying to hijack that whole black fatigue, saying that we're tired of black people out here, saying, how oppressed they are and how.
That's what I was saying, like, and the whole get over it.
Yeah,
I've heard that before. Get over it. Get over it.
But what it actually is black people that are just fucking tired of white people and their intervention and their need to fucking have their nose in everything, especially everything that deals with us, their critiques and criticisms of us. Keep that shit. We tired
Why
of y'all.
don't they own it? Just own that, hey, this is how you feel.
Well, see, the thing about it is they're starting to. They're starting to come out, like that girl said, oh, yeah, if there was some sort of race war with what, first of all, you don't shoot a gun from this, I don't know if the same girl that was on the little, you didn't see the little panel that she was on, the little CNN panel? It was a panel of four, the little white influencer girl, the blonde.
No, I didn't.
I gotta find it to you. She was talking about some sort of race war. If there was a race war, then they would definitely win because black people don't know how to shoot guns and shit like that. Just like, all right, y'all. You know what I mean? You motherfuckers are the most ignorant motherfuckers. It just is ignorant as you can be. But the thing about it is people like that get play. They get burned. You know what I mean? They get a lot of fucking burn. And the reason why, and the media does it on purpose, and the reason why is because they want to influence more people to feel like that.
Right.
And that's how you
Well,
change.
there has to be.
That's how you change the mentality and the ideology of a country, is you repeat something over and over again, while denying information to the contrary or other information.
Well, the slow ones will go that route, but the ones that really want to know and
Well, you'd
learn,
be surprised at how many
should
slow
take the other
people.
path.
It's slow ones or people who identify with that ideology, especially the perks and benefits of that ideology. You know what I'm saying? If it benefits you, why would you not go with it? You know what I'm saying? That's their. It doesn't hurt me. You know what I mean?
That's
sure.
what I'm saying. It's like what's going on, like you said, over here in D.C. with the museums. Like, all right, well, because
it doesn't hurt me. It's not.
Right. It does.
It's not my museum, but if I guarantee you, if it was, we're gonna get rid of the Irish American Museum. We're gonna get rid of the Jewish American Holocaust Museum. We're gonna get rid of the Italian immigrant fucking museum. I guarantee you, it would be. I mean, so many people up at arms. It's not even fucking funny.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's us, people turn around and say that's not concerning to me. And the reason why is because black people aren't concerning to them. The only time black people are concerning to people is when we are gathering.
Oh, yeah.
That's
What's going on over there?
What's going on over there? That's the only time that we are concerning. When we're by ourselves, and if it's a bunch of them, and they're not concerned with what we need. But if it's a bunch of us over here in this fucking corner, grouped together, they're concerned about what's going on over here in the corner.
Sinners.
And it's just like you said in the beginning, mind your business.
Right.
This has nothing to do with you. But the thing about it is the reason why they need to know is because they need to know if we are planning to hit them back. And that's it. That's why they always need to know. They always need to keep tabs. They always need to be in our business. That's why they keep saying, "Oh, we don't give a fuck about what y'all do over there, but y'all are always in our business. You guys are always making things and creating legislation to make us misstep so that you can keep us down. Always doing that. You just are. It's a fucking proven fact. We can see it. It's obvious. Super blatant about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
The fact that I choose to call it out, makes it a little more difficult for people to hide behind the facade of, oh, everything's equal for everybody, because no, it's really not. And it comes back to, everything ties into that movie. All of it, everything ties back into that movie. And
Because we can't have fun.
you're not supposed to.
No. Like, what is that? What's dancing?
Yeah,
Well, that's the thing. If they see us
But
and
see,
having
that's
too
the
much
thing,
fun,
and
it's
that
like,
was the
what's
thing.
going on over there? I want to learn this dance.
that was the
move,
symbolism
this
of the juke
song.
joint. That was the
Right.
symbolism of the juke joint. The juke joint was a place where we came.
Yes.
That was for us.
I love when it transitioned. The
Yeah.
music.
Because it transcends time.
Yes.
You know, from that time all the way up until today, these places are our spaces where we can go and let our hair down and have fun without being,
And where that's the music comes from.
yeah.
Like it. I mean,
Absolutely.
I love that they used all this. They had twerking in there.
Yeah, they
I
had
love
twerking.
it.
They
That's
had
right, twerk.
they had Native
Hip-hop.
Americans dancing, hip hop dancing. They had everybody dancing.
That was great. I was like,
I
this
thought it
is
was
lovely.
great. I thought it was an absolutely great. That kid, listen, that kid is gonna have a long career in Hollywood.
Right.
Even like I said, even Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon was like, "Yo, go see it." And then it was a big deal because Tom Cruise went to see it. People were saying, "Oh, Tom Cruise is
Yeah.
going to see, Sinners." But like Kevin Bacon was like, "Yo, excellent movie. Go see that shit. If you don't see it, you're a fucking idiot."
Well, Kevin Bacon was in this movie that I like.
Oh, Kiss the World Goodbye.
Yeah.
Or
I
leave the
was like,
leave the world behind.
Behind,
Leave
yeah.
the world behind. Yeah, that was a good movie too.
I was like, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So he's down for the cause.
Listen, Kevin
Well,
Bacon.
like he supports.
Kevin Bacon was a young actor that is now an old actor, a veteran in the business, much like Tom Cruise, who was a kid when they came that are now old guys in the business.
Right.
Them dudes, you can't be in that business, be the celebrities that they are, have worked with the people that you've worked with, and still turn around and have a lot of these fucking bullshit ass fucking.
Right.
I mean, if you've worked with Samuel L. Jackson, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be
'Cause
somebody.
he
You got to be a
is
different
true.
motherfucker because he's gonna let your ass know.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing
Because
I
I believe a lot of that is not. It is acting,
it's who he
but
is.
It's
who
not.
he is.
It's
That's
who
why.
he is.
Listen, that's why people. That's why he booked so much of the shit. Because if you notice, most of the characters he plays is who
Right.
they let him be who the
Yeah.
fuck he is. Because that's who the fuck he is. I just love that. And Samuel L. Jackson as himself.
Yeah, but imagine like you were saying what they've seen, Tom Cruise,
Yeah.
and all them in acting. Like also not only the people they've met, but what have they seen?
What have they seen? I mean, like for real, especially like coming up through Hollywood, because back like when John Wayne was running around, Hollywood was racist as fuck. I mean, John Wayne was a fucking racist. Elvis was racist. Lucille Ball was a motherfucking racist.
Yeah, I just learned that. You just told me.
Yeah,
that.
they
I was
were all
like,
racists. They were all racists. They were all solid racists. Solid racists.
Like her,
Yeah.
especially her husband's. He was Cuban, but-
there's a different type of racism. There's racism, and then there's anti-black racism. People in this country have a tendency to have a lot of anti-black racism.
right.
And that stems from the history of black people in this country and the desperate need for white folks to try and sweep slavery and all the heinous shit that they did to black people under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, it looks like we have come to the end of another hourglass session. And what time you got there, babe? Ooh, 10:26.
Nighttime.
Night time. So, hey, y'all, I thank you guys. I want to thank everybody for joining me, man. Thank you very much. I want to thank my parents for giving me this mouthpiece and the foresight and the thought power to think through some of these things that we discuss. I want to thank my wife for joining me today and for also being my biggest fan. Thanks, baby.
You're welcome.
I want to thank my producer and best friend, Jesse Yandel, for being the coolest white dude I know. I want to thank Gentry Thomas for being another cool white dude and giving me the platform that I come to you guys every week on. And I want to thank, last but not least, everybody listening to my show, man. Thank you for listening, man. I do really appreciate it. And like I said, man, I don't hate white folks. Okay, so tell all your white friends. Tell all your white friends. If you're a white person that listens to my show, I just want you to know I don't hate white people. I hate the institution of racism, is what I hate, and I hate any agent of it, and it's that simple. So if there's a white person that does something that I don't agree with, I'm going to call it out. And the more they do it, the more I'm going to call it out. And if there's a trend, and it's just because that's who's doing it. Now, if it was a bunch of black folks doing it, rest assured I'd call that shit out too. But I just want you to know that it's not the white race. It's the ideology that some people in that race have adopted. So, with that being said, you guys have a good week, and I will talk to you guys next week sometime. Next Friday, something. I think that's when my podcast comes out. It comes out on Friday, right? Yeah, Fridays. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining me. See y'all next time. Peace.
You've been listening to the Deron Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DeronHarris.com.